Welcome to episode 34 of the No Scrubs podcast. I'm your host Lewis, and join with me today, my co-host, a man who's a sick little boy, Stephen. How you going?
I am a sick little boy, honestly. Because I slept most of yesterday, I was just like, there's nothing pulling me to go straight to bed, so I played a game, which I'll get to near the end of the segment, to like 2-3 o'clock, and I slept into like, I called in sick, and then I slept until 2:30 in the Arvo, and then I went back to playing that game. I'm feeling a bit better. Yeah, but apart from that, I may be sick, but I'm still ill.
But you're still thick.
No.
With a capital TH, I tell you, 6 C's. And I was just thinking, I don't think I've ever slept in until 2:30 in my fucking life.
That sucks.
And look, I'm not jealous of you being sick, but the other day I was so fucking exhausted. I went to bed at 8:30. I was just completely fucked. Couldn't get to sleep. I woke up. I was like, man, I still felt tired when I woke up. I was like, man, that's the best sleep I've had in months. It was 7.5 hours. That was my best sleep. I was like, oh fuck, bro. But yeah, I was still exhausted. But
That's
look,
like
it's different for everyone.
That's like the equivalent to your body being, oh, what is this great liquid I'm having? What is this? Like, it's water. It's a bare minimum of what your body needs to function.
Exactly. This is you should be having this every day of your life. Actually, shout out to our boy Peter. Right now, he was on many cans of Monster and V a day. I think it was mostly V for him. He's just on the waters right now. So shout out,
dude,
killing it.
Yeah. Now to be honest, I haven't been an energy drink man. The only time I've been having energy drinks recently is when I'm dog tired from work and I know I've got to go to the gym, so I just get like a sugar-free Red Bull. But yeah,
Sugar-free Red Bull was kind of peak, to be honest.
Oh, have you No, it's a certain sugar-free Red Bull. It's the monk fruit one. It's the one that comes in like the sort of like silver and lilac can. Because they've done these other like out there flavors like, nah, not for me. I'll just go for a sugar-free. And then I tried this one. I was like, no, this is my go-to now. But
I don't think I've had that one, to be honest. What's the there's the sugar-free like 0-calorie one, the Red Bull, and I reckon that one is crap. It's just
crap.
Like, you know what? I'll take the 30 calories or whatever in the normal sugar-free one. I can handle that instead of the 0-calorie fucking rubbish Red Bull. Also, I don't drink a lot of energy drinks because my body does not like caffeine anymore, and then I get all phlegmy and gross. So sometimes I bought because I'm a sucker for, they have a promotional energy drink, and I'm like, try it. So if I get a big can, if they've only got them in the big cans, I'll have like maybe like a third of it, and then give the rest to Alex. Because I got to find my limits. It's like maybe half I might be able to survive, but then yeah, otherwise if I have the whole one, like half an hour later, you just hear me go like coughing, and then it's like, oh no, here we go.
Well, when it comes to like novelty energy drinks and stuff, you always got to have the first sip to be like, this is nice or this is crap. It's sort of like back when I was when I was a smoker, you literally only need the first inhale to like satiate that craving. The rest is just a chore. But because of the price of them, you can't just be like, yep, cool, chuck on the ground.
You need to like split. You need to like split a pack of ciggies with someone, or like between multiple people, and then you go, all right, I get the first puff, and you guys could have the rest, and you're splitting it 3 ways. Absurd.
I think this is just before we get into it, just a funny little story. So, as you know, I have a cheeky wee vape before we stream, but when I go from, I've set this rule for when I go from my house, if it's from work to my partner's house, I'll bring my vape. But if it's just from my house to my partner's house, I'll leave the vape at home. Vape less, it's awesome. But then I remember one time coming back, and I was just like, yeah, I haven't had like a vape in a good like 24 hours. So get back to mine, hit it, and then my head gets so light, my knees get light. I was like, I need to take a lie down.
That ain't the first time. That ain't the first time for you, mate. We witnessed a horror one morning. Stephen lighted up a ciggy, got a headspin, hit the deck. So, at least you've learned it's like, I need to lie down.
But,
yeah.
Just going back to the sleeping until 2:30, yeah, you think it's great because you sleep a long time, but it's like, let's get all the potential things you could achieve today and just put them in the bin.
Yeah, especially coming into winter, it's like, yeah, mate, you wake up at that time, it's like you have 2 to 3 hours to achieve things before it's dark.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like the heat, right? Not a big fan of if you're over 25 degrees, I'm less interested in you. You know, that's how we look outside now, mate. 25 degrees, I'm not about that. That's kind of my cutoff from what I enjoy. You know, 22 degrees, that's a nice day. I enjoy it. But the thing I don't like about winter is like I get up for work, it's dark. It's dark when I arrive at work at 8:30. I finish work at 5:30. It's dark, and if I've had a day where sometimes like I won't get any calls, I'll just be in the office all day. I'm like, I didn't see any fucking sunlight. I'm like, this fucking sucks. That's what I don't like about winter. I don't mind that's a bit cold. That's fine. But you know, it's hard. Like we're in autumn right now, and I'm like, this is all right, but it's just getting dark early, and we're slipping away.
Can you dress for the climate? Because I can't.
For work or
no, just
or in
like
general?
Just in general. Like it will be freezing even when it's like pissing down with rain, and I'm still just at most rocking a hoodie, and I'm still wearing like my workout shorts. And people are like, "Aren't you fucking cold?" And it's just like, I have no problem getting cold. Cold doesn't affect me. The slightest increase in the temperature, and I start sweating, I get annoyed.
Yeah, Steven saw Frozen was like, the cold never bothered me anyway, mate.
Yeah.
I'm a bit different.
Yeah.
I was walking my dog in winter, and it was down to about 4 degrees, and that was when I went in shorts, and that's when I was like, I need to invest in some track pants. I told my younger brother who's in Australia, you know, the Gold Coast, it's like, it was 28 degrees every day. And he was like, what the fuck? He was like, 4 degrees? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, I was just like, it's got a little chilly now. Yeah, he was like mind-blowing because he's not used to the Christchurch cold anymore. But that was it. 5 degrees, I was like, that's fine, mate. 4 degrees, I'm like, that is a little chilly on the legs. I was wearing like, you know, a t-shirt and a jacket. But you got to have something to keep the chill off, eh? So I'm wearing like, you know, the CCCs, mate. The old CCCs, just to keep that wind chill. Because once I was walking Keith, and this southerly came through. Also, you know when you're in New Zealand, when they're talking about which way the wind's blowing. You know, oh, that's coming in from the south, mate. That's why it's so cold. But the southerly blew in, and I felt it through my jersey, through my fucking pants, through everything. And I look at Keith, and his fur's been blown back, and he's having a bad time. We gotta go. They would have chilled him to the fucking bone. Yeah, so... And, the wind started blowing so hard, it started raining. And it wasn't raining, you know... wasn't raining horizontally anymore. Like,
it was raining sideways.
Which way? Yeah, it wasn't raining vertically anymore. It was raining horizontally. That shit was hitting us in the side. It was all... You know... I was like, yeah, we gotta go home. This ain't it. But Keith's fur, when it was all blowing back, and he was like... I'm like,
oh, poor boy.
I'm not doing that for the thumbnail.
I like the idea. It's like 5 degrees. All right, 4 degrees. That's when you start getting like the icicles in your eyebrows and your beard.
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't quite. It dropped 1 degree, and I'm like, oh shit, no, I can't be doing that. But I didn't think it was a problem until it got down to 4 degrees, and I'm like, It's too cold. You may not know from the first 10 minutes of this podcast, this is a gaming show. This is all about gaming, not about the way the wind blows in Christchurch.
We do.
But,
we have been thinking of like a subsidy. It's called like No Scrubs Weather, also, but called like Know the Weather.
With a K-N-O-W as well.
Obviously.
It would have to be. You know, that's branding right there. We're marketing geniuses.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get double digits on this show.
Yeah.
Speaking of double and triple digits, I guess it's technically more. They just shortened it. But anyway, the marathon budget has leaked, and thinking it's likely between $200 and $250 million, which is, I mean, I know that's pretty standard now for AAA games, but it's pretty big. So it is estimated that they've made between $40 and $55 million back so far. So look, if we go from the best estimate from this, they've made a quarter of the money back. It's not looking great. I don't know if Marathon is long for this world, but the idea is it's a service game, right? So you gotta keep it going, because it's also the 6th most sold game of the year in the US, according to Circana, the data from them. We also don't know how many of these battle passes and microtransactions have sold, so maybe they've made more than this. But it's such a shame, because I think it's such an excellent game. I really do rate it. I've barely seen anyone who's played it hating on it. You know, it's always been the people that are like, this is the worst game ever. Have you played it? No. So I really would love to see it survive and have the legs. Every couple of weeks they're like, here's a big update, and it's almost always entirely positive. It's like, there's a map called Dire Marsh, and I'll be honest, I fucking hate playing Dire Marsh. You load up in it, you verse the sweatiest people of all time. They've all got fucking thermal scopes and snipe you from across the map, and you're like, yay. But they added a playlist for Dire Marsh where you can only go in with a free kit, so you can't go in kitted out to the fucking teeth. And it's been really fun. It's been one of my favourite ones to play. I don't hate the map when everyone's not kitted out on it. I don't mind if you kit it out on, like, there's a close quarters map called Outpost. You kit it out in Outpost, absolutely, I get it, mate. There's a small like enclosed PvP map. That's what it's about. Sure, kit yourself out, but man, we're just trying to do missions on Dire Marsh, and you don't get to play the game sometimes. You're like, and yes, you could say skill issue, absolutely, but I'm just trying to do my missions, man. I'm just trying to get shit done. So I'm loving all the changes they're making. There was a shotgun that was overpowered that was like 1-tapping, 2-tapping people, but you just double click, bam, bam, and it was just like, oh, you're dead. Oh, they had the better ping than me. Okay, I guess they won. So, yeah, and they nerfed that, which was great. Now they can't just 2-tap you. They have to 2-tap and then change to another weapon or knife you. So that's good. But yeah, all the changes have been positive. Me, Script, and DT, the boys, have been jumping on, a couple times a week. I hope to see Marathon survive. We'll be seeing you, Stephen. Will we be seeing you on Tau City, mate? What do you reckon?
No. No, I kind of feel, because it's not my sort of game, I would be a little bit more of a hindrance playing it.
That's how I feel sometimes too, to be honest. I feel like a hindrance in some games, yeah. DT's, he's that guy. He's that guy. He's fucking good. And Script has his moments as well. I do have my moments as well. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, I played that. But yeah, I am really enjoying it still. What kind of hours have I got? I got nearly 60 hours in it, so yeah. Still enjoying it a lot. We got a bunch of Valve news. We've got some good stuff coming from Valve.
Turn that Valve.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Also, I saw Hideo Kojima was actually at Valve recently. This is not on here. This is just something. And he said apparently after playing Half-Life, and he was so blown away by it, it ended up influencing Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Very cool. So Valve is improving Linux gaming pretty much as a whole. So they made a bunch of improvements that prioritize your VRAM a lot better, which is increased performance for systems with 8 gig graphics cards. Which is awesome because there's a lot of 8 gig graphics cards out there now, and they're not quite cutting the mustard anymore for a lot of games. And this massively improves performance on those, which is awesome. It also reduces stutter, frame drops, texture popping, and just better overall AMD support. So really, really cool to hear from Valve. And really one day I would like to make the jump to SteamOS. Right now I do have to use Windows for work as well. There's a bunch of games I haven't looked, but I imagine Marathon's anti-cheat probably doesn't work on Linux, so it would probably be a dual boot at best. I like more every day. I like SteamOS a little bit more. They've also confirmed now that SteamOS now runs on every AMD handheld. So my ROG Ally, it supports it on there now. Well, I think it has for a while, but which is great. I have thought about either installing Bazite or SteamOS on there. Might do at some point, just to have a look. The original reason was I liked having Game Pass, and then there's just not as much on Game Pass that interests me at the moment. And then they're going to have AAA games on there later that I want to play Gears E-Day and stuff like that. But I'm not going to play that on the ROG Ally because it's going to run like crap, to be quite honest, on the first gen.
Sounds like I'm not really missing out on much not having Game Pass at the moment.
No, I mean, one of the big things at the moment would be Vampire Crawlers, but then you could buy the game for less than a subscription to Game Pass.
$15 on payday. That's hardly money.
Exactly. Hades 2 is now on there, but that's late, and we've both finished it.
Mm-hmm.
So as unnecessary. What else? Oh, unnecessary for us. Some people might something out of that. They're slowly releasing plastic Final Fantasies on there, which is cool, but also they're not hideously expensive. Like Absalom, sorry. There's a game I want to play, but I'd already bought it before they released it or brought it to Game Pass. Haven't got around to playing it though. One of these days. Ain't that life? More support on the handhelds is a great thing, and just there's heaps more AMD support than there was, and they've got it working on all sorts of different chips now. Still pretty limited Intel support, but I imagine that will come in time. Valve has also uploaded a Steam Controller 2 video to Steam. It's currently unplayable. It's just been found in the files. So it's rumored to go on sale early next month. But we will see when that actually happens. Maybe late this month, maybe early next month. But I guess we'll find out. I think I'm picking one up, man. I don't think... I mean, historically, we can't actually buy directly hardware through Steam. So we'll have to wait for someone to, like, parallel import it for us. Maybe somewhere that you work might do it. Who knows? But I want one.
I'm hoping so. Because, we got in, the Steam Decks. So I am actually really hoping that we do get in these Steam controls, because I can guarantee you there's going to be a demand for it. So we actually, out of all the computer handhelds we sell, from the ROGs to the MSI Claw, they don't really move. Steam Decks we run out of stock. Yeah, it's still the crowd pleaser. Yeah.
One day, I think Steam Deck 2, which is, what do they say, rumored 2028. Sounds like a long way away, but I mean it is. But I'm definitely interested. But we'll see anyway, because there's supposed to be a PlayStation handheld coming out, hybrid potentially around that time too. So we'll see. We'll see what the go is. The Vampire Survivors developer Ponkel, I hope that's pronounced Ponkel. It looks like Ponkel to me.
Ponsel?
Ponsel? Oh, but you don't want to be a Ponce.
Ponkley?
Ponkley?
Ponkley.
They say they're working on over 15 projects. So this was originally stated, like people thought they said 15 games, and they're like, hey, this ain't 15 games. It's 15 projects. They said it's a mix of games, DLCs, free updates, and sounds like possibly publishing other people's games as well. So they got a heap in the works, which is really cool. Vampire Crawlers is just launched, and that seems to be doing pretty well. I believe one of us will have something to say about that later. Could be anyone.
Who could it be now?
I was thinking of that Bobby Hill one when he's got the intestine. Is it the intestine at the fucking doctor's office, and he just blows into it? And then but the meme of that song playing, it's like, who could it be now? And then Bobby Hill's and then it's so fucking good. That's an all timer for me. I'm gonna say allegedly, because even though people have said this is in the works, look, the Metal Gear Solid movie is in the works from the directors of Final Destination Bloodlines. And I say this is like the third time I've seen a Metal Gear Solid movie's in the works. They were like, Oscar Isaac's been cast in the Metal Gear Solid movie, and then fucking nothing came of it. So I'll believe it when I see it kind of deal. You know? That's who knows? Who knows if this is gonna happen, eh? Like, it's we wait and bleed. We'll wait and see. Also, interesting that there's a whole thing, like, if you can direct, with like up and coming directors, so many of them like start off in horror, because if you could do a lot. If you're a good director, you can do a lot in horror with very little money, and that's like where you prove yourself. If you can do a good horror film with a small budget, all right, you might have what it takes, and that just seems to be the way for many directors. I mean, Peter Jackson did that way back in the day. Like, Sam Raimi is very much a. I think it's The Frighteners was the horror one. I think Brain Dead was. I think that was like goofy action, but I think it's been a long time. But The Frighteners, which was filmed in Littleton, which I think is kind of cool for us Christchurch boys. But yeah, there's a lot of directors that have done that. Like I said, Sam Raimi, he did as well, but he's mostly known for horror. But then he also did those Spider-Man films, which the first two were excellent. And I still think there's good stuff in the third one, to be honest. I still like Spider-Man 3, but it is the worst one. Oh, we got the Bully Maguire memes from that, though.
Pizza
That's
time.
Great. Yeah, fuck yeah. There's some good shit from there. I love the idea of, as well, like, anytime you're about to do something like fucked up, the evil like Spider-Man music plays in your head. Yeah, it's...
Oh, and what a cultural event of, I think it was Spider-Man 1 or 2, with that Chad Kroger and dude from Saliva song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they say that a hero. I actually, dude, when that song came out, I love that shit.
Oh, same.
It was good shit, man. I also am a Nickelback enjoyer. If you want to leave, I understand. You know, I was listening to Nickelback not long ago, and I was like, oh, okay, they are a band though with good singles, like really good singles, and the albums are generally pretty average. And there'll be like 3 real good songs on an album, and the other 7 tracks you're like, I could throw those out, to be honest. But they do have some bangers. That song was Spider-Man 1. For sure. It's crazy to think about as well, like pre MCU, those coming out and just being absolutely fucking massive.
Yeah.
that scene. So you really see Sam Raimi's horror roots and stuff coming through, and there's so many tense scenes, like the one when they're having dinner, and Willem Dafoe's amazing, and that's like such a tense scene between, and you're like, man, that man knows how to write tension. You just knew that or direct tension. You could tell, like, yeah, I can see your roots coming through. Well, I can tell you've dyed your hair, mate. I like Sam Raimi. Also, I actually really liked his Marvel as the Doctor Strange. He did the sequel to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse Madness, I think it was called. I really liked that. There's scenes as well with Scarlet Witch that are like really tense. Like he was like doing what he does. A lot of people didn't like it. I was like, man, finally something that's not this fucking just tired Marvel formula.
Is that the one that had the cameo of the guy from the Evil Dead?
Yeah, because he directed Evil Dead. So Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Bruce Campbell, man. He's
Same.
awesome.
I also enjoyed that Doctor Strange movie because it felt like a nice mix up to the formula.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the there have been a couple of Marvel films I've enjoyed since. I liked Guardians 3 a lot. Thunderbolts was actually really good, and I think super underrated. Because a lot of people like myself were like massively Marvel, like just fatigued and burnt out. But yeah, Thunderbolts surprised me with how good it was. But yeah, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. If I got the name wrong, look, I'm not a Marvel encyclopedia.
His cape's hanging up in the wardrobe.
Yeah. Or cape slop, as Stephen would say.
Cape shit. But yes, cape slop also works.
So Splitgate is implementing peer-to-peer servers as part of its end-of-life plan, ensuring the game remains playable once official servers are shut down. So, this is the future that Stop Killing Games wants. And I want them to bring Lawbreakers back. Give me back Lawbreakers. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'd actually want to play it as much now, but at the time, I really enjoyed Lawbreakers.
How good though, live service games having like an end resolution for when if the game tanks and they have to take it offline.
It's like we've paid money for this. Come on, let us have our thing that we've paid money for.
Yeah.
You know, is that asking for too much? I mean, I understand there's some games like that you couldn't just have an offline version of, but this is one technically that couldn't. But they were like, cool, you can host your own servers. Here you go. This is not. I mean, I don't feel like this is asking for too much. When you make these products, even if you're like, we're going to do in dedicated servers, I still think put a redundancy plan in place, put a backup plan in place that you could. I know that there is more work involved than the average consumer and the average gamer will say. Just flick a switch and make it peer to peer, like it's that easy. But I feel like they should, when they are developing the games, should think about these things.
I do think the whole thing is gross of like paying money for a service instead of you buying a product, it's like you're buying a license to play said product.
Yeah, and I know that is technically how it all is in the modern age, and and the subscription age and stuff. And it's like you own nothing and you will be happy. But and to be fair, Steam is very much you're just paying to have a license for the product. But Valve hasn't done anything to fuck me over. I still trust Valve with that. I just don't trust most other companies with something like that.
You must have seen that. You must have seen that meme. It's of like a bunch of I think it was stick figures all putting like shotguns in their mouths, and it's got like Nintendo, Sony, Xbox, and it's just got Steam just on the side being like.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. It's like the game you will do nothing, keep winning. Yeah, I think. As well, some people have done their own ones, and they're like, "Oh, actually, only Sony doesn't have the gun in their mouth." Like, Sony 100% has the gun in their mouth. The only other one who might not is actually Nintendo. To be quite honest, like they make some questionable choices. I don't agree with a lot of what Nintendo do, but at the same time, like, if you talk to anyone that's like big into the like playing the PlayStation Classic like catalog and stuff like that. People are like, the Nintendo catalog is insane. You pay way less money for it than the other ones, and you get way more value. Like, originally people shat on Nintendo's paid online service, but this is crap. And now people are like, it might be the best one.
Yeah, no, I remember. That's actually what sort of got me back into years ago. Got me back on track to playing Breath of Fire. Is my moved back in with the folks. Brother paid for Nintendo Online on the Switch, and I was playing through Breath of Fire because he had the SNES tier, and it was like it scratched an itch. But also, I like the fact that they're adding more games to like the GameCube one, because you got that Pokemon game, Dark Gale. But another cool thing that they could add is, you know how the Mega Man Game Boy Advance games were like RPGs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was one Mega Man Battle Network game that was exclusive to GameCube, and it was played as its side-scrolling routes, and apparently it's quite hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they'll chuck that up there.
Capcom seems to be pretty interested in putting things on these services as well, which is
Breath
cool.
of Fire 4, that took me by surprise.
Yeah, it's Capcom. You know what? I was saving this for later, but I got to talk about how Capcom is killing it. To be quite honest, look at this year. They've already put out 3 bangers. They've put out Resident Evil Requiem, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Pragmata, and only Musha's coming out later this year. I'm like, fuck. Like, we're in April and Capcom's got 3 fucking bangers out already. Like, and yes, maybe Monster Hunter Stories and Pragmata maybe haven't set the world on fire and sold fucking stupid copies, but it's awesome to see 3 really high quality, really decent products come out from one publisher. In this kind of window, I would almost like them to. Yes, they're very different games, but maybe space them out a little bit more, just to not be so front heavy. But
may we wish them more wins in the future. Many more wins.
Absolutely. And Onimusha's shaping up to look really, really good as well.
You reckon you'll cop, or too early to say?
Too early to say. Depends on what else is out and if there's a bunch of other like Souls-like games. I mean, not a Souls-like technically, but more of these types of games. Sword slop, I'll just call it for now. If Phantom Blade Zero and Beast of Reincarnation, and that if they all come out around the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have the capacity for 3 sword slop games.
The mental real estate.
Affectionately. Yeah, I say that affectionately because I love these types of games. But yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely open to it. Yeah, so shout out Capcom. Definitely looking like publisher of the year so far. Many people be like, no, Rockstar Games. They're like, well, they're going to put out, yes, it's going to be the biggest game of all time, but it's one game.
Yes, it's
I don't
highly
know if that would
anticipated.
get you publisher of the year. You know what I mean? And then let's be honest, it's probably Xbox in the running as well by the time the year ends, because they're supposed to have Fable and Gears of War, a bunch of other shit, but we'll see if any of it does come out this year. You never know with Xbox. And we don't even know how good the games are going to be yet, but I think it'd be hard for them to fuck up Gears of War. Fable though, maybe.
No, that IP's been dormant for quite some time. Expectations are going to be set high.
Bring back Peter Molyneux. No, don't. He's making his own thing anyway, which we're also supposed to get this year. So back to Splitgate. That was good shit. Love to see that. Stop Killing Games once is picking up speed, and the US, specifically in California. So nothing is put into law yet, but there is being proposed. There's a movement now created, the movement's now created a US lobbying group, which look, generally lobbyists suck. They're like big tobacco or big pharma or whatever, but this is one I can get behind. And I don't think they're probably paying off a lot of people.
Big gamer.
Big gamer, that's what they call me. Big gamer, big dog. Alf. But yes, progress is slower than it's been in the EU, but it's starting to get serious. It's starting to ramp up. So this would be great news. I would still prefer this to not to have to come into law, because stuff, when it gets regulated, you put up a bunch of more red tape that may make it more difficult for developers. But maybe developers shouldn't rip off their fucking their consumers. You know, Ubisoft with The Crew. Just saying.
And maybe Pirate Software shouldn't have been such an idiot and being a know-it-all, being like, no, this is shit, with having a surface level knowledge on the fact. I am happy that this is getting traction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he did. It's so funny. Him being so against this brought so many eyes to this. Like, I didn't see it until just seeing the hate Pirate Software was getting. Like, let's check this out. Let's see. Why is this guy getting so much hate? Oh, that's a really bad take. Oh, he hasn't refuted any points of this at all. It's just, so it's pretty funny how that's backfired, and now that's what he's known for.
And
getting everyone killed in a hardcore World of Warcraft.
It's like a Streisand effect, but like the Pirate Software effect. It's like, don't do this. It's like, this guy sucks, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just being so unlikable on this as well. Oh, the other thing is known for working for Blizzard.
Blizzard.
I love that. I love that. Someone's like,
Blizzard.
I don't mention that I work for Blizzard that much, and then I watch like a supercut of him saying for 5 minutes of him like, I used to work for Blizzard Games, so Blizzard Entertainment.
Blizzard.
Yeah. Look, I haven't seen him say or do anything insufferable recently. Maybe one day he will look at this and go, I was wrong, But
he hasn't done a major cock up in a while, but when he does, the algorithm will let you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, I do feel bad for people on the internet and public figures. Like, they will not let you forget this. Every time he posts something, there's probably someone being like, oh, you hate Stop Killing Games. You're like, you gotta let people have different opinions, but he was objectively wrong about this. So, that's fine. That's fine. I don't want to keep being a hater, but he must see this all the time and be like, fuck, I should have shut my fucking mouth about this and not be the poster boy for it, which is hilarious. I feel like he's the poster boy for it, not even the guy who's actually pushing it through.
No, poor
the Accursed Farms.
Ross.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude. Shout out to him and his tools.
I would say poor Ross being sort of forgotten about, but it's like, no, his movement is gaining traction. I think that's the thing he cared about the most. Didn't care about the drama.
I think so too. Yeah, he even said, "Is like I don't normally wouldn't want to address these things," when he made his video, but I'm going to have to address them. So, I think the main thing is that the cause is getting more eyes on it. The Binding of Isaac now has a mute player function in multiplayer mode after one player known as Ken kept being a creep and asking for nudes.
Oh,
I saw this on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck? Sometimes it takes a dickhead just to make one of these changes, eh? And they were just
Isaac
it's
naked
amazing.
in the game?
Isaac, I mean, technically you are a naked baby crying on poop.
Oh.
It's a weird game, alright? It's a weird game, but it fucking rules, Steven. It's my top 10 of all time. But it's a game that's impossible to explain to people, and it's like, oh, I got this power up. Oh, and it's, it's a fetus or whatever, It's like, oh, cool. Edmund McMillan is a twisted individual. But I think this is hilarious that they're like, oh yeah, so this guy kept asking this girl for nudes. Yeah, so we had to implement a mute function in the game.
Hell yeah.
Crazy that they had it for a period of time without that because everyone was being fucking normal.
Yeah. Hell yeah to the adding the mute function, not her getting harassed.
Why not both? Definitely not. Just if you're playing games, this goes way back to playing on the Xbox 360. We're playing Halo 3, and then there's a girl in the voice chat, and it's me, a mate, and then we got these two randoms on our team, which are like a girl and a random girl and a random guy. I was like, whoa, wait, you a girl? She's like, yeah. He's like, oh wow. Oh, do you have GTA 4? Yeah. And he's like, oh, dude, come into my game and I'll show you my cars. And then it was bizarre. We're just playing Halo. It was guys like trying to rizz up this girl. At least he wasn't like harassing her, like, you know, girl, like you fucking suck or whatever, or being, you know. But he was just trying to rizz her up to get her onto GTA. I don't remember. I didn't play a lot of GTA 4, but it was like some kind of online component. Obviously not like they had in 5. But yeah.
Damn.
Interesting.
Girls existing on the internet.
Yep. They should know better than to do that. Existing. Wild.
On the internet? No,
people.
in real life.
I'm coming to kill you.
I'm coming to... Yeah, no. Yeah.
That was about a boxing match, by the way.
Yeah.
Not actually not about women on the internet.
No.
What Stephen was referencing. In a video game? No, in real life. The Elden Ring movie is rumored to have a budget of over $100 million, which is the most expensive film produced by A24. Honestly, this makes me more nervous than anything, bro. I love Elden Ring. It's still like at least in my top 3, but probably my favorite game of all time. I love this game. It is incredible, and the only thing I would mark it down on is just on launch it had a lot of frame like stutter, and it just didn't perform as well as I would have liked it to. But otherwise, like other than that, it's like a perfect game. I've just got a feel this movie's not going to be good, bro.
So
I just think it's gonna be average.
There was something Souls related in like movie or TV show media that was getting like directed or produced by Jacksepticeye, and I was like, it's not the Elden Ring movie.
That's the next story.
Hey, what? Jump in.
I put it up the list because I realised these two should go together. But From Software produced films. But yes, we will see what happens. They've got Nick Offerman in the Elden Ring film.
I got it.
People have seen behind the scenes that they've got the Dung Eater character. So you know
the thing that
they call him in the game, the loathsome Dung Eater.
The thing that I'm like curious but also cautious of, like not a big Souls player, but you would say that like agree that most of the storytelling and like the Soulsborne series are basically environmental storytelling, and also for the plot you have to actually go out of your way to look for it. It's not like here's the Bowser, here's the princess, beat him, save her, sort of thing. How that translate?
Yeah, probably 80% of it is reading item descriptions and environmental storytelling.
Yeah,
and 80% may even be underselling it, and maybe like 90%. You know, it's you know, you get a bit. It probably is 80-20, right? You get a bit of dialogue from NPCs and stuff that tell you stuff, but it's mostly like learning about it from items. Because since I'm such a gameplay driven person, I can absolutely finish a game and love it from start to finish and not have a story at all, and be like, that was fucking great, because it felt amazing to play, and I liked the bosses, and I liked the environments, world design, and soundtrack, and all of that. I could not have a story at all. But then, because I love the game so much, I go to youtube.com/VardyVidget and I watch all the fucking lore videos and I'm like, man, this lore's so fucking good. But yes, it is, being a Souls fan, if you want the story, you really have to fucking work for it. And the stories and stuff that are in there are actually decent. They're just not told to you in a straightforward way. There's rare exception of Sekiro. Sekiro just is, there is a story to it, which is nice and easy. The game is a lot more linear than Elden Ring, for example, as well. And there's much more set than even the other games. Like, yes, there are branching paths that you all lead to the same place, but Sekiro's like, you are this character. You aren't just a chosen undead or or tarnished or whatever that you customize yourself as. Like, you are this dude. So that was, Sekiro was like, they can tell stories, but they're like, we love this obscure, obtuse fucking shit. And honestly, I do too. But how do you make a fucking movie that like about a game that explains fucking nothing to you? How do you make it when it's this gameplay driven experience? How do you do exploration in this? And environmental storytelling is, yes, it happens in movies and TV shows, more so TV shows than movies, but movies are more about showing and telling than just, and they might have an ending or something where it's like, oh, we want you to use your imagination, think
up to
what it might have been,
interpretation.
whatever. Well, yeah. The movies are less like that, unless you're like at Christopher Nolan and you're like, oh, you wanna understand the plot of Tenet? Nobody fucking understands it. Fuck you. Also, Prestige, one of my favourite movies ever.
Great movie.
Great movie. Love it. But yeah, so I don't know how they're gonna do this. Guess we'll find out, because I'll probably fucking see it, because shit. If they deliver on this, I'm gonna be blown away. But
hey, I can't knock you for wanting to watch it, for lapping it up, because you know that I'm gonna be watching the Street Fighter movie.
Steven's he's trying to rally fucking every human being he knows to go see Street Fighter with him. Steven's just a big Andrew Schultz fan. He's like, dude, that's my Dan right there. That's the one.
Okay. Hey, so a lot of people have been like, I don't particularly find Andrew Schultz funny, but a lot of people were like shitting on his appearance as Dan. One, I think the pose he's doing in his poster, where it looks like he's charging a fist back, and the other one should be doing a punch like that, but he's doing a thumbs up. That's goofy. I like that. But then people
I actually think he seems fine for Dan, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think he seems that bad. I think a lot of the casting for it is like, could you have cast maybe slightly better people? Yes. If you're making a serious movie, yes. Did you cast people who are going to be really fun in these roles? 100%. And I think that's way better.
Well, I remember seeing this...
We got Volk. We got Volk in there. We got my boy Volk.
Well, I remember seeing this thing, like, Eric Andre originally wanted, like, to play Blanca, but then Jason Momoa just rings up here like, I'm Blanca. And they're like, whoa.
Jason Momoa is a better Blanca than Eric Andre.
I mean...
Straight up. He's also becoming, like, king of the nerds. Jason Momoa is, like, and he's like, in the Minecraft movie and that as well. You're like, he's apparently going to be in this Helldivers movie that's happening. Like,
oh, man.
He's just a big fucking nerd. It's great. It's cool. Like, I don't think he's got, like, a massive amount of range, but I'm like, the movies that he's in, like, I don't need him to have range to play Blanca in the Street Fighter movie,
The one casting choice, like, Roman Reigns as Akuma, that was interesting. Cody Rhodes playing Guile, awesome.
I like that as well.
Yeah,
I think that'll be fun.
But it was the one casting that I was like, interesting, is the person they're getting to play E Honda.
Oh yeah.
So I was a big fan of, like, that wrestler, Haruki Goto in New Japan. But the yeah, he was a little bit more stockier than other people on the roster. But then they get him to be E Honda. Like he's not a massive dude. So I don't know if he's gained weight for the role or they've maybe put on like a prosthetic stomach for him. But yeah, if Haruki Goto, not a massive lad.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do.
Though the one thing I do hope they do with him is at some stage in the movie, if they he puts on the sumo paint. He looks a little bit weird without the E Honda like red sumo paint.
This is one of those things where you look at him, you're like, "That's not him," and puts the paint on. You're, oh, yo, he did it.
Sort of like with I'll say the X-Men Wolverine movie where Deadpool Wolverine movie when Deadpool's wearing that costume, but then when he puts the hood on, it was like, oh, he did the thing that they wouldn't do in the live actions.
Yeah, dude, that original X-Men Origins Wolverine Deadpool was like,
doo-doo.
What the fuck are you that, bro?
Pretty sure that only came out.
What are we doing?
I'm pretty sure they only made that movie so Fox could still have the license to X-Men.
Yeah, I think so.
I also love...
Apparently the game was really good. Like,
yeah,
I never played it, but I heard it was awesome in the day. Just a really good, like, it was a 3D like action brawler.
I know. I loved it in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Deadpool, one of his win quotes is he takes a dig at the X-Men movie. And he's just like, that's how you beat Wolverine. I didn't even have to use Octoblasts.
Yeah, look, and that's very, very fitting for Deadpool. I felt like as well, Deadpool was really fun at first, and then I grew a bit tired of Deadpool after a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but I was like, man, I kind of hope that's the last one for at least a while, because it was really good, it was fun. Love that they referenced all the Fox stuff in there, but
I remember
trying to put Deadpool down for a minute, you know?
I remember having a yarn with one of my mates on Discord, and he's like, "Oh, well, Deadpool's only become like a big thing since the movie." I was like, "No, they've been obnoxious Deadpool fans. They've existed for years."
Yeah, and it was always like a cosplay fan favorite for a long time as well, because it let people be obnoxious in public.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. So, back to, yes, talking about the Elden Ring movie, which, who I imagine coming out probably next year. But the next one that led into this was Bloodborne is getting an R-rated animated movie with Jacksepticeye producing. And I was kind of like, man, so hilariously, I thought about this quote, and then I listened to a podcast that said it, and I was like, fuck. I'm going to say this on our pod, and now I'm going to sound like I'm ripping off sacred symbols. But I had the same thought. And it was like Kanye West when he's talking about Lady Gaga being the creative director of Polaroid. And he was like, I like some of the Gaga songs, but what the fuck does she know about cameras? And that's where I'm like, Jacksepticeye is a massive Bloodborne fan, from what I've heard. I haven't watched too much of him, but he's like... He's got a Bloodborne tattoo, he's got Bloodborne statues, he fucking loves it, plays it through twice a year, like adores the game. But I don't know what he knows about producing films. You know? And it's animated and like, you know, but maybe he's a good person to be, you know. And producer is an interesting role. Also, this is my magnesium deep sleep. I'm not just popping caps on, yeah, but... And you could be like, oh, but he's made a lot of YouTube videos, and that's kind of like, you know, producing and directing and all of that, and yeah, possibly. But the idea, producers can be many, many things. Sometimes a producer is the person that's there getting everyone into gear, making sure everyone's on task. Sometimes a producer is someone who fronts some money. Sometimes a producer is just, they don't know fucking anything, their name's just on there. So who knows what kind of producer? I think he's going to want to be involved in the creative process, and having someone who is a fan can be a good thing. Like Henry Cavill with the Witcher TV show, which some people were like, he was actually really difficult to work with. And he was like, yeah, because they kept trying to make Geralt do things he would not do that were like non-canon. And I kept saying, that's not canon, I'm not going to do that. And you're like, good. We need someone to put their fucking foot down and stop ruining established characters.
When I think someone's producing a movie, my mind goes to they're fronting the costs for it. But also, is this could this be could Markiplier maybe have set a trend for like YouTube old heads, where like Let's Players who have been around for ages moving, or just YouTubers in general moving into like films, with Markiplier doing Iron Lung and Jacksepticeye doing this? Like, could this be the new trajectory for like old heads, or just YouTubers in general?
Could be. But what's interesting about Markiplier was that he wrote, starred, directed, and I think produced Iron Lung. And like he had like the creator of the game like on there when they were doing sets and stuff like that. So it's a little different than this. He did not saying that Jacksepticeye is not doing anything, because it seems like he probably is going to be quite involved, but Markiplier did just about fucking everything on the Iron Lung movie. So what's next? The big three. PewDiePie is going to direct a bridge commercial. I don't know, mate. You know the one. The one. Well, it's going to be like a city builder simulator movie, and he's like, oh, here's the bridge. Moving on. So, also, I got no hate for PewDiePie, but that moment is it's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. That's also where I heard about the live streaming platform DLive, which I think closed down recently.
I will always there's that moment, because I didn't really care for his Let's Plays or something, the Bro Fist era. But I'll just always remember him as the can your chair do this, and just reclines it to the ground.
Yeah, I did like the meme review era. I actually thought it was quite fun. Third, with Justin Roiland and Elon Musk, and it's just like it was like, what's something wrong with my dolphin? It's a dead deer at the bottom of a swimming pool, and Elon Musk is just laughing hysterically, and Justin Roiland's like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm on camera with this guy laughing at a dead deer. That was pretty wild. But I enjoyed that era of him a lot when he did like kind of commentary stuff. I thought it was actually really fun. I thought it was really good. But yes, didn't care for the fucking era at all.
One of my favorite videos was, it was someone watching on like a monitor, and he says, "God," it's like, "Bro fist me," and you just see someone just like put their foot through their monitor.
It's not a fist. Big fan of the Foot Fist Way, starring
Kick Puncher.
Oh fuck! Why have I forgotten his name? Who's Kenny Powers, Stephen? Why have I forgotten his name?
Something McBride. Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. Fuck, thank you, God. I'm tired, boss. I love Danny McBride. He is a bit one note, but I like that one note that he plays. It's good. Alright, so Xbox are partnering with Discord. They haven't really said what it is yet, but they've specifically said partnering with the Game Pass side of it. So I'm thinking it's going to be Nitro as part of Game Pass. I'm like, okay, if you don't raise prices of it and it's just going to be bundled in, sure, but I don't give a fuck about Discord Nitro. So we'll see what they do anyway. Xbox is also reportedly working on Game Pass being more modular. So one of the things people were throwing out would be, you could have options of, if you wanted Fortnite Crew or World of Warcraft subscription or Day One games, that you could choose from, an option. Maybe Ultimate has all of these things, but then a step below, you get to choose one of these things. And I think it's a cool idea. means that people, you know, because Ultimate got very expensive, which they've just dropped the prices, which is real cool. But yeah, it just got so expensive and just became so prohibitive for people to get in there. Like, we almost all of us for a while, like me, you, Scrip, my boy Matt Code, like we were all subscribed to Game Pass at one stage because it was pretty affordable. Yeah, it was great. All of you guys have unsubscribed, but I bought in bulk, so that's the reason I still have it. Otherwise, I would have unsubbed as well. They just went from being like, yeah, in New Zealand now, if you want Ultimate, it's going to be like close to $40 a month or something. And PC Game Pass went up to like $25 from like 15, and everyone's like, not interested.
Later, Bo.
So, yeah. So they have said there maybe these. Well, the rumor is maybe these modular tiers. That's the word. Fucking nailed it. Yeah, no dead here, mate. But yes. So what the next thing was, which was a rumor that then became, now they've already done it, was that CEO of Xbox Ashish Sharma saying Game Pass has become too expensive for players, and there were rumors that they were considering COD leaving, and they were going to be dropping the price of Ultimate. And then what happened was they did that shit. They were like, yeah, COD's out, and then, you know, the US price for Ultimate was $30, and now it's $27. PC Game Pass has gone down from $17.50 to $14 a month. And I'd have to see for New Zealand, but Australia is our closest one, and it went from $40 to $26, and then $20.45 to $17 for PC. So, yeah, massive improvement. Really good to see. I think the people I know have already kicked it to the curb are probably not going to come back in a hurry anyway. You'd have to release some bitchin' games, but I think this is a really, really good move, because you want to, like, when people, if someone was to ask me, you know, this time last year, my son wants to get into gaming, or I want to get into gaming, but what's the cheapest way for me to do it? And I would have said buy an Xbox Series S and get a Game Pass subscription, and it would just get that fucking value. 1080p, 30 frames, sure, but get a second-hand Series S for under $300, and $300 New Zealand, and a Game Pass subscription. You could play so many fucking games, just the best value. And then the value went away, and I'd be like, yeah, don't do that anymore. So yeah, really, really cool to see. I know as well, like, people are like, look at this, look what Ashish Sharma's done in 60 days. A massive company like Microsoft, and even a sub-company like Xbox, all these changes don't just happen under 60 days. This is stuff that takes longer than that for them to cut through all the red tape and all. I think it's great they've done it under her, because it makes her look really, really good. And these are still things that we've said. We said we'll give her 2 years, you know, and then look back on, like, a year might not be enough. We'll look back on 2 years and see what Xbox looked like then versus now. But this is something you still count under her anyway, right? Because it is, technically. And it's great. Makes her look awesome. So there's a bunch more things as well. They're doing a big achievements update as well. So the achievements, they've changed how they look visually, make them look a little more appealing. And you can hide games. So if you're like, oh, I got one achievement in this game and it's on my fucking list forever, you can hide that, which is really cool. It will now show you your games that you've got 100% completion on. I still think they need to do something else a little more, like the Platinum on PlayStation. It's easier to track the progress on them as well, which is great. And then they said there's more updates to be coming to changes for achievements. So there's something, the 100% thing people have been asking for fucking ages. So I think that's really, really good. But once again, I don't think that's something that they wouldn't rewrite how achievements work within those 60 days. I think this is something that's been in the pipeline for a while, but still, put that under a banner. Looks great for her. I like the changes that they're making so far. They've also sent out a bunch of Project Helix things to a heap of different people that we don't really know what they are yet. And rumors are that Project Helix, they might not even be doing their own Xbox Project Helix. They might be getting third parties to do like MSI Project Helix, and it's still an Xbox and plays the Xbox games, but it's under like MSI and all. But these are rumors. We will see what happens, and some of these rumors come to be true. So I hate kind of reporting on rumors, but this stuff changes all the time. So I think it's best to put them out there because they do come from credible sources.
Yee.
The Invincible. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, I was meaning yee. Yee, but in agreement.
Yee. So the Invincible versus Open Beta has just happened, and people seem pretty mixed on it. Many people were complaining that it was not casual friendly enough. And I saw a Maximilian dude disagreeing with a lot of people and talked about you shouldn't make fighting games too easy. He said he's like, I've been saying that since 2015, if a game is too simplified, it's 2 times as easy for new players, but 10 times easier for experienced players. So you do need a hardcore element in fighting games, ultimately, if you're going to keep people interested. This is something I was talking to my boys about last night, and talking about Marathon. You can't just make Marathon just, a completely noob-friendly experience. You need to have some stuff in there, and like I said about earlier, Dire Marsh, free kits only, I think is a massive, really, really good change, because people will just get stomped and not be able to do their missions, and they'll quit the game forever. This makes these missions way more accessible, but you still have the other game modes in there to appease the hardcores as well. So I think that if you want a game to have legs, you need to have it healthy for the hardcore scene first and foremost, because those are the people that are going to keep playing. You need to give them something to chase. So I think a really, really good example of this as well is Dragon Ball FighterZ in terms of fighting games, because you had the auto combos, right, where you just mash the same button, and yes, you still had to learn all the fundamentals, but you had the auto combo just going bam, 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 bam. Just keep mashing the same button once you've got them in the string, and you'll do a combo, you'll deal damage. That's great. And then you start stringing that together with, use a charged up attack at the end of it, and, really, really good. But there's way better combos you can do than that stuff if you spend the time to learn it. But if you just have, I'm someone that I have a really, really bad memory for combos. Terrible. But I get pretty good fundamentals. I could still beat people online that knew these better combos because I just had better fundamentals. And I think that is great game design. I think that's really good. And that's what I'd like to see more in these other games as well. Yep, you've got your auto combos for the noobs, but if you really spend the time, you can learn the better stuff. And that appeases the hardcores and the casuals. I think for fighting games specifically, that's what you got to do, because Dragon Ball FighterZ is great, and it felt like a decently balanced game. Arc system works. That's what they're doing.
And we got finally got some gameplay for Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku, which is real interesting because regular Super Saiyan 4 is in Fighters technically, in the form of he's in the fusion dance with Gogeta, but also with Kid Goku. If you are the last if you both tag partners are out and you use his ultimate attack, he turns Super Saiyan 4. So yeah, interesting. As
you say as well, people think the DLC might be done by someone else, like another team.
Yeah, I was having a chat that's like the DLC might be done by another team because something about like the camera angles, the way the Arc does like certain camera angles and lighting on certain points of the attack, people are like, it's different. This isn't the Arc's formula. I was like, okay. Which
is interesting, eh? If true, just be like, okay, well, we want this one more character. Arc system workers are busy. We'll get this other team to make this character. Which, I mean, cool that if they can. You know, if their team's busy, maybe your contractual obligation was up, and they're like, "We can't swing it right now. We got something else in the works." And speaking of Dragon Ball, there was that Age 1000 project that was in the works that they hadn't said too much about. And I'm sure to Steven's excitement, but my disappointment, they're like, it's Xenoverse 3! And I'm like, another Xenoverse game. Also, insane, Xenoverse 2's getting its last DLC.
Yeah.
10 years of DLC. They've supported that game. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was it was actually, I want to say it was the Bandai, one of the country's YouTubes, maybe Mexico, I'm not sure. They, in a playlist, they had Project 1000 as Xenoverse 3. But, yep, they showed us a trailer. Shows a guy who looks like he's like a distant relative or like just a big Yamcha fan, like wearing his gear, has the slashes on the face. We see John 1000, the poster boy, show up. A little bit of Piccolo on the roof. But I think there's someone who's wearing like a circlet around their neck who's meant to be Bulma, so maybe she's found a way to preserve herself. But it's real interesting because it was like, you didn't see Goku, you didn't see Trunks in this trailer. It felt less of a, this is the Dragon Ball Z world, we're pulling you into it. And it's like, this is our own world built around Dragon Ball Z, if you know what I mean.
This ain't your granddad's Dragon Ball.
And interesting, there's a scene where like one of the characters like types in on his phone, on his wristwatch, and it brings up all these people talking, and one of the people was you saw Dragon Ball Superhero, right?
Yep.
One of the people was Gamma 1. I was like,
oh yeah,
interesting. So it's, I have a little, not a prediction, but what I think. So there's a certain scene where it shows this apartment, and the apartment gets broken into, think by Bulma. I was like, I wonder if in Xenoverse 3 if they're going to do the whole thing of you have your own living space that you can customize. They were very cheap.
I imagine it's going to build on a lot of the Xenoverse 2 stuff, but I think they'll be doing more with it because the fact they're not doing more DLC and they're like, we're doing a whole new game, so I imagine they'll be changing up a plenty to just probably like some kind of engine limitations or hardware limitations on like the older devices it was on. So
they did do something real cheeky as they mixed in a very tiny bit of in-game footage of just showing like John 1000, and if that's what they look like in the game, I'm happy, because Xenoverse 1 and 2 characters looked very plasticky. Like they kind of looked like little action figures. Like it's almost like the game was based off action figures off the characters, if that makes sense. Yeah, but dude, Xenoverse 2 has had some legs, and they're finally getting to rest. They finally get to tag out. Damn. So
thank God.
I am excited for Xenoverse 3. I really do hope it shakes up the formula. And I hope that the controls, I think one of the things I was always like, I don't like it, but I get the way it functions, is the way that Xenoverse plays. And then when I played Kakarot, I was just like, oh, this is kind of just like a refined, the gameplay button layout is basically a refined version of Xenoverse 2. I was like, okay, but I know how it works, I'll make do.
Yeah. I'm hopeful if they change. I hope they change the gameplay, because I tried Xenoverse 1 for like a little over 3 hours, and I was like, oh man, I just can't. Kakarot, I think I put 10 hours in, and I was like, Man, I'm so bored of this fucking combat loop.
Yeah.
I hope they make something a little more, I don't know, almost a little more fighting game like. I think I'd be
Yeah.
more interested. I just don't. It just felt like here's the optimal way to do every single fight and just do that on repeat. And I was like, oh, man, I just can't do this. But a lot of people liked it, so some people might be annoyed if they change it too much. And look, make the game for those people. Don't make it for me, because people already really liked it. Xenoverse 2 did fucking numbers.
I'm hoping that it'll have PvE and PvP elements, but obviously it'll have PvE, but I'm hoping the combat is less anime arena fighter and make it, like you said, a little bit of fighting game, maybe a little bit of like a action RPG.
Yeah, I would I'd appreciate that.
Make the moves feel like they've got weight behind them.
Yeah, I think that's always good. I often like a bit of weight.
Meaty, big, meaty claws.
Yeah, I like my combat with little heft to it.
A little thick.
I want that combat built Tonka.
Tonka.
Feel me? Alright, so we've got some potential Street Fighter leaks. Steven?
So this is like a of two ways about it. I kind of hope that the leak isn't true, which I'll get into it in a sec, because Capcom and their fighting hub, they have been hosting like character popularity polls, ranging from all the Street Fighter games, and the most one of the most requested characters are Makoto from Street Fighter 3, Sakura, and Dudley from Street Fighter 3. And someone pointed out that I found was very interesting, for a game that is set post Street Fighter 3, there isn't very many Street Fighter 3 characters in the roster. So the rumored leak is Vega, the guy with the mask and claw, Goken, the trainer of Ryu and Ken, and brother of Akuma, Mike Hagar, who is from Final Fight, and also he was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Tifa from Final Fantasy. And so, with Vega being included, it's like, okay, I see what they're doing. Is so the first DLC, we got Aki, new character who was a successor of Fang, who was meant to be one of the Sagat's replacement of the Four Kings. The Four Kings being Bison, Vega, Balrog, Sagat. So, but then we got M. Bison. Then this year we got Sagat. So if it's true that it's Vega next year, it almost gives a game away that they're going to be bringing back the Four Kings with Balrog next season. Goken, I'm like, interesting. He debuted in Street Fighter 4. He was real interesting because he's a Shoto, but different. He is a man who does one-handed Hadokens that he can charge up and he can chuck on 3 different angles. Straight, on a slight angle, on a big angle. Didn't have a Shoryuken in his moveset apart from his Super and his Ultra. And his Tatsumaki kick was, he just goes up vertically, doesn't travel across the screen unless you're doing an airborne one. Interesting pick. Yeah. Cool. Mike Hagar. I've always viewed Mike Hagar as, why have him when you've got Zangief? Because Hagar's big moves in like Final Fight were spinning lariat. Oh wait, Zangief has that. Oh, a pile driver. Oh, Zangief has that. And yeah, I mean, Guy and Cody from Final Fight have made it in. Mike is one of the few people from like those games not to be in it. But I'm just like, unless they really like retool him, boring pick. Tifa, they can make it real good, but Capcom has said because of the development time, the resources, and the fact that the characters have to be implemented into the open world mode, world tour, they can only do 4 characters a season. And yeah, it was cool when Mai and Terry were in season 2. Yeah, it's just one character, but I'm still a little bit on the idea of a guest character taking up a potential slot character, because I personally, I would like to see Makoto or even Remy, since Street Fighter V had both Guile and Nash, and Remy basically was Guile for Street Fighter 3, except he can do like a low and a standing projectile, so you could real control the space. Yeah, that's my opinion on it. I kind of hope that it isn't true, but if it is true, there hasn't been a DLC character they've released that I've been like, this person's boring. They've always made them interesting, especially Alex, but I'm biased, so we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey man, welcome to fighting games. You know, like, just, oh man, I hope they don't make guest characters for this. Oh, they did guest characters. Every fighting game is doing that these days. Like, just to be honest, like, you're always going to get a fighting game, like a guest character in every like battle pass. I mean, look at like Tekken does that as well. They all do it. Mortal Kombat does it.
And the other sort of naff thing is, outside the guest characters, the only 2 like new characters we've gotten since out of all the DLCs is like Aki. She's a brand new character, a poison user, and I'm going to say yes, Ingrid is a new character, because yes, she was designed for a Capcom fighting game that ultimately got canned, and they sort of put her in, I want to say, the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, but she looks, for the trailer, she looks real technical. Like, I would say she's, if you've played 5 or remember the character Manat, she was a technical character. Ingrid in this looks very technical. She got blast, she got
you
a grapple.
say my nut.
My nut. Yes. No, dude. Instead of Minat or Manat, how you pronounce it. Real interesting character. I couldn't vibe with. Her whole gimmick is, she doesn't have too many moves, but she has like moves that like she will fire out a projectile that stays stationary, and you use another move to like pull that that projectile back to you. So she can like be setting this move up here, knock you up, extend your combo by like recalling the projectile back to her. It's like, interesting character. Could not
I
get
would
it
struggle.
Yeah.
I would struggle versing. I would struggle playing. Who's the old guy in the current Street Fighter? What's
Old guy.
Yeah, in Street Fighter 6, character who's like an older guy, makes
Balsam?
portals.
Oh,
Makes
JP.
Portals. JP, dude, that guy fucked me up when I was playing Street Fighter. Like, if you were an okay JP, you would get an instant win on me. I just could not fight him, bro. I just could not. And I'd be like, he's throwing portals out and he's zoning me. I don't know what to do. I'll try to play aggressive. I get up in his face and then he just fucks me up again. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Something about JP, man. I just could not beat any JP player.
Especially when he has the EX version of that move where he basically just grabs his staff and like swipes. Because if it hits you, if the EX version hits you, sends you to the other side of the map. And so he can just bully you from far away.
Yeah, he was like the only character that I was like, I just do not know how to play against him. Also, I am a Street Fighter scrub, to be fair, but I was like, I can't fight this guy.
I remember one time when I was doing ranks with my Luke, I was like, oh sweet, it's JP. I was nervous because like, fuck, this guy's gonna have gimmicks out the ass. And then, yeah, he did. But then I just got up in his face and got him into the corner, and his bullshit wasn't working. And I was like, rematch? No. Pussy.
Yeah, to be honest, I've had some games in Tekken where I've gotten so stomped that I was like, I ain't rematching that, bro. There's nothing I'm going to learn from this. Sometimes you do. You're like, okay, like that was close. You know, I could see where I went wrong. I want to. Sometimes you're like, I'm not learning anything. I'm just going to get stomped again and demoralized. You got to pick your battles. Yeah, so Rockstar Games got hacked. So the hackers demanded $200,000 to not leak the data. Rockstar didn't pay them, and they were just ended up leaking that information. The information just showed how much money Rockstar Games was making, and their share price went up. Like, these hackers must be kicking themselves, eh? But, God damn it. Like, so one of the things that came out was that GTA 5 made $1 billion in the first 3 days.
Jeez!
Crazy. Yeah, they're still making between $440 to $500 million a year, mostly coming from the microtransactions. Over $5 billion in revenue from the shark cards, which is that by the in-game currency.
Karma coins for GTA.
Yeah, one of the most profitable games ever made, which makes sense. But there, they showed as well the platforms that were generating most amount of money. PC was generating the least, which I thought was interesting. But what I remember was one of my workmates, when he was super into GTA Online, he was going to buy a shark card and was like, oh man, it's going to cost me heaps of money for this, like $100 to get this amount of money. He then found a guy who would buy, I'll hack the money into your game for $10 and I will give you 10 times they were going to give you for like $100 worth of shark cards. So he got like millions, hundreds of millions in-game GTA money. Like
Jeez.
$10. Yeah, so I think that's why PC players are not spending the money, because a hacker will do it for a tenth of the price.
$10?
Yes. Yeah, fucking crazy. So yeah, I mean, when I say hundreds of millions of dollars, it's like hundreds of millions of GTA dollars, but the equivalent of like 100 New Zealand dollars. But yeah, pretty wild. Like if I have a look, yeah, GTA 5 on Steam, will it show me? Let's see the shark card price. Maybe they're their own. Maybe they're their own thing in Steam. Maybe it's just in-game now. You used to be able to see it actually in the Steam store, but I can't see it anymore. Yeah, pretty interesting, eh? You don't see often. We release a hack. Oh, yeah, you won't want this out. Share price goes up.
So, and obviously another thing that probably helped, well not obviously, but it probably helps with GTA 5 is, I think it's called like 5M mods, where people can mod the game to like work 9 to 5 jobs in GTA.
Yeah, the GTA roleplay was really big for a while as well. Like, it was huge. And I'm hoping that they have inbuilt stuff for that in GTA 6. We'll see. We'll see what it is when it comes out. I feel like there's going to be nothing else like it, because the rumour is between $1 and $2 billion budget to most sources kind of lean towards that $2 billion. Seeing that they made $1 billion in the first day, you're like, for GTA 5, you're like, oh yeah, I could see them spending $2 billion because they know they're going to get it back. I'm assuming it's still going to be a massive single player campaign with those two characters, and I think online is going to be where the real money is spent though. And I'm sure it's both. I'm sure the campaign's going to be great. They're going to be looking at how can we have a forever game in GTA Online, GTA 6. Because it was in their mind for GTA 5, but really like it became something much, much bigger and better as time went on. I imagine there's going to be a lot of early content day one for GTA 6 Online. And I'll be honest, I'm probably going to play it day one, but I'm actually not that hyped for it. I'm just not a GTA guy.
You want to be part of that cultural phenomenon?
Yeah, I want to be part of the zeitgeist because it's so interesting. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and I wasn't into it, and then I bought it. Like, I bought it anyway, and I tried it, and I wasn't feeling it. I enjoyed it when I played it with the boys, but I still was like, man, this is like a generational game, and I do. As someone who likes to be in the know about games, I was like, I feel obligated to. I had a bunch of Steam credit there, and I was like, I'm going to give it a go. But it wasn't for me, and I think GTA is going to be the same thing. I have historically liked GTA, like when I was when I was in intermediate, and I was like, 11, 12 years old playing GTA 3, and I was like, this is so cool, playing Vice City at a mate's place. But as an adult, I like structure a little more. I'm not a sandbox guy, but as a kid, having the freedom is real fun. Yeah, I think I'll be checking it out. It's a shame it's not going to release on PC at launch, but it is what it is. This is something I should have put with the Xbox segment, but Xbox have shown off Metro 2039 and a new show that they're doing called Xbox First Look. And the Metro games aren't for me. I really did try the first one. I think it was Metro 2033. I tried that back in the day, and I just could not get into it at all. But I think that, more than anything, I think that this Xbox First Look is a cool idea, where they spotlight. Could be a third party's game, it could be one of their own or a second party, but I think it's just a cool idea to them. Hey, we're gonna showcase this game and show you a bit about it and give you a little, like a really, really mini showcase on one thing for the first time you're seeing gameplay. It's cool. I imagine we'll be seeing a lot more of these first looks in future. The first Berserker Kazan team has been dissolved after decent reviews but poor sales. And this is a real shame for me. Because I love my Souls-like, Steve. I love my Souls-likes. I think this game was really good. I really enjoyed it. And the studio hasn't gone under, but they've dissolved the internal team, which is just a real shame. I believe this was part of like another game's universe, so they were trying to branch out. The third boss in this game, man, there's this dragon cunt. That pre-nerf was so fucking hard. It was like an end-game Souls fucking boss. I'm like, it's getting late. I need to go to bed, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to bed till I beat this boss because I need to persevere with this because I don't want to have to learn the fight again tomorrow because I'm getting fucking close, and I smacked my head against the wall until I beat this fight. And then I was like, oh, thank God I did it. Got to go to bed, but like probably midnight or something. I'm normally like a 11 o'clock to bed kind of guy. And then the next day they're like, oh, we've nerfed that boss. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then they buffed the boss like a little bit after him, and then I ended up getting grief from that. Not as hard, not quite as bad. But yeah, I think the game was really, really good. The story was fucking nonsense, to be honest. And it's like, oh, there's some blade demon or blade soul living inside you. I'm like, this is some fucking anime trash, bro. I'm sorry, but not all anime is anime trash, but that's the vibe I got from the story. Ben Starr voiced the main character, and his voice acting was very good, but the yarn was crap, to be honest. But the gameplay was really good, really, really good. There's a little more loot than I like normally, but it wasn't as bad as it is
And like,
in the Neo games.
or the
It's a shame to see.
Stranger of Paradise.
Yeah, same devs as Neo. That's why, because it was on PlayStation Plus, and I was subscribed at the time, and I was like, oh cool, I'll give this a go. And once I got the loot vomit, I was like, oh, bro, I can't do this shit right now. I just can't do it. But I wanted to like Stranger of Paradise because some of it was really cheesy, but I liked it. You know, like blasting the music on his phone, like going up, and people compared it to Limp Bizkit, and I was like, oh yeah, there is a bit of a nu metal vibe to this.
I wanted to like that game so much more. But as soon as I finished it, they had a little bit of post-game content. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah. Sometimes as well, it's not even that it's a bad game or anything, but you finish the game and you go, I don't need to do the post-game. I'm done. I've spent enough time with it. Like, I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn, and I started playing the DLC, and I was like, I can't, man. I can't. It's just more of the same, and I was like, I'm happy, I'm content with this being done, because I did really enjoy it. Lid's on. Can't drink out of my drink with the lid on. What a silly boy. What a silly little boy. Ah, refreshing. Pure vodka straight to the vein. Yeah, so another game studio where similar things happened. Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, which I really enjoyed. Played that on Game Pass. Gameplay was excellent. Story wasn't too bad. I actually quite enjoyed it. They had to change a bunch of stuff because Chinese people got upset that certain things in the mythology weren't right, and they had to like something as well as ridiculous, right? So there would be bosses that are based on Chinese like historical and sometimes mythological figures that you would kill, and the Chinese public there was massive outcry, so you couldn't kill these characters. So you fight them in a boss fight, and then they just stand there after you beat them, and you're like, the fuck? They censored so much of it and made it worse.
The booby sweat.
It's funny because I remember hearing that this was like a Guna game. I did not notice any of that at all. Gameplay was really good, and this team is also dissolving, which is a shame because I thought this game was excellent. It's just a real shame the Chinese audience didn't come out in support of this like they did Black Myth Wukong, which I'm yet to play. Especially because apparently like the last 20% of Black Myth Wukong is apparently like incomplete. It's like these massive sprawling areas with nothing in them, and it's just almost like a boss rush, and it just feels like really half-assed from what I've heard. But apparently the rest of the game's awesome, so I would like to get to Black Myth Wukong. Shame about Wu-Chang, because I really liked that. It was probably one of my favourite games last year. Last year there were a lot of good games. Probably in the top 10 of last year, maybe top 5. This I thought was really cool. So I'm not really a Lana Del Rey guy, but they released a new song for 007 First Light. And the song is fittingly called First Light. So I listened to it, and like I say, didn't do too much for me. But I like that this is getting the real James Bond treatment. You know, every James Bond's got a theme song. Like the best one being "You Know My Name" by Chris Cornell on Casino Royale. Fuck yeah, banger. Or that, or Guns N' Roses' cover of "Live and Let Die" from the film "Live and Let Die." I actually think it's a real good cover. But really cool that they're getting the real deal treatment, because Lana Del Rey, like, yeah, she's not at her peak of her career now, but she's still a big name. It's still you say that, and pretty much everyone our age will know who Lana Del Rey is, you know. So, yeah, that's massive. Also, I find her an interesting and almost like kind of endearing character that she ended up marrying a guy that had like a crocodile park or something, but he left his wife for her.
Oh.
Like, what? Yeah, and he's like much older than her, and I don't know, but there's something that's like endearing about that woman not being a homewrecker. That's not so good. But
No.
I'm like, I don't. something about you. I don't know. It's kind of interesting that you just,
Because you think famous people always marry famous people?
yeah, it's interesting. Sorry, it's probably not crocodiles either. It'd be alligators because it's America. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, really, really cool to see that getting the love. This is one I forgot to put in the doc, so Steven's not going to see it, but I'll read it out anyway. So, Shuhei Yoshida, who was the he was leading like first party development for PlayStation. So he was fired by Jim Ryan in 2019. Ultimately, he was demoted or put into a different role, but he said Jim Ryan wanted to remove me from first party because I didn't listen to him. He asked me to do some ridiculous things, and I said no. I helped Santa Monica to make God of War, Naughty Dog to make Uncharted and The Last of Us, and Sucker Punch to make the beautiful Ghost of Tsushima. But in 2019, after 11 years of leading first-party development, I was fired from the role. And a lot of people will say, since he's not been in the role, when they had Herman Holst in that role, and then he got promoted to CEO and then got demoted to co-CEO, which some people say is not a demotion, but it is. Yeah. If you look at the games releasing under him, I think they were far, far better than what they're doing now, other than my beloved Marathon. But yeah, they pivoted into the live service, and then they had so far a bunch of failures and cancelled projects, and probably more to come. They've closed a heap of studios, and I just think under Shuhei, things looked far, far better. He's talked about in interviews as well that he's like, because ultimately this role is being like a tastemaker and just seeing the potential in these games. You know, Herman Holst, by the way, was the one that saw Concord and thought, this shit's so good that we need to buy the team. You know? Not that hero shooters have been and gone. Like I said, I enjoyed the beta. I didn't think it was a perfect game, but Concord, it was not the game. It was not worth buying the whole studio. But yes, he talked about back in the day when I've heard him in interviews when he saw Demon Souls and he didn't understand it, and he was kind of like, I'm not super interested in this, but they ended up doing it anyway with From Software. I think Atlas published it in the West, and obviously Demon Souls ended up being popular, and like IGN in the day were not going to review it, and then they were like, oh, we'll just get a third party kind of person to review it for us, and they gave it like a 9.3, and they're like, what the fuck, what is this game? And people just, either you got it or you didn't. And then obviously spun off Dark Souls and Elden Ring now and Bloodborne, all these games, right? So he said himself, he's like, I don't always get it right. I didn't understand Demon Souls. But look, if you really start looking at the games that he greenlit versus what Herman Holst and that is greenlit, you'd take Shuhei back in a fucking heartbeat. I still think that the live service thing for Sony is probably the move, to be quite honest. I still think, as much as that's not what all of us want, it takes one live service hit to then, you need one Fortnite
to
make billions of dollars. And I think it's still something that is worth chasing, but not at the expense of, like the way Sony did it. We're going to get our fucking port studio to make a God of War live service game and then shit can them. Like, what are you doing, dog? Why not get them to make remasters and remakes that you wanted them to do? So yes, Shuhei, they didn't appreciate you, and I'm glad you said no to Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan, as they call him. I've heard him on pods as well. Shuhei seems like a really, really cool, like, down-to-earth guy. And it's funny because Sony's everyone's so media trained, and when he first stepped down or first left Sony, it was because he got fired from that role, but got put in another role at Sony. I think he was working with like indie developers and stuff through Sony. The media training was still like there, and now he's slowly started letting more and more out as time goes on, which is cool.
He's unlearning behaviour.
Yeah, it feels like that. There's also like Japanese people are also very reserved, and I think he's like slowly trickling it out the more he does media and stuff here and there, which I really like. But yeah, he seems like a really cool, down to earth dude. I really like him. So this isn't gaming related, but Avatar: The Legend of Aang is a movie that's leaked online and reportedly viewed over 15 million times.
Damn.
So, I think this is also it's gaming adjacent. I really like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Korra, it's okay. It's okay. Ups and downs. First villain in Korra, amazing, exceptional, one of the best in the series. Other villains, but yeah, man, this is sad to see. So it sounds like they were kind of shopping it around. It sounds like to see who wanted the rights for it. But I think they're under Paramount.
Yeah.
I think it's like Paramount Skydance, so they probably should have just had it themselves. It was supposed to be either releasing on like streaming platforms or in cinemas in October, and the whole thing fully completed released. And rough, man, super rough. Hopefully they can still make some money off it. I've been hearing it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I know someone who's seen it. I have a man on the inside. Yes, so that's what we've got for the news anyway. We've been playing some games. So I've been playing Marathon. And I don't know if you know this. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I don't have quite as many stories this time. I've been a little busy. But yes, I've been playing Marathon. I'm still really enjoying it. Mentioned earlier about the Diamash free kit has been good, and we've been thrashing that, which has been really fun. BDT and Script, so yeah, that has been good. Last night we played a bit of RV there yet because the XCOM mods were broken, and Chris was like, oh, we might corrupt the save, so let's not go ahead. So that's fine. So we played that. So that is just a friend swap game. We had the four of us, and you're trying to get an RV from point A to point B. Ultimately, is what you're doing. So for a lot of it, I was driving. DT was kind of navigating. He was just leading me through, canyons and through trees and all of that. Sometimes you got to go over a fucking ramp and hope your RV doesn't fall to pieces. You got to fight off bears with bear spray and get the fuck away from them. And you got to constantly repair the RV when it takes damage. So you're collecting scrap from campsites and little cabins around the place, and making sure the fucking wheels don't fall off, like when you run over a landmine. Don't know who that could have been anyone that ran over a landmine. So yeah, but there's probably not heaps to say. It's just a fun little friend swap game that I've enjoyed the one session we've had so far. Hopefully we'll do a few more.
Hopefully.
Do you have anything else you want to say on RV there yet?
Oh, no, it was nice because there's little things like you get a disposable grill that you got to turn on, chuck on the ground. Didn't know till I think you did it, Lewis, because you can pressing 1 is your cigarette button, 2's to smoke it, 3's to flick it, and Lewis just flicked a lit cigarette onto the little portable stove, put it on fire. It's like, hey, drop some hamburger patties on it.
Yeah, dude, it's hilarious. I just spend the whole time fucking chain smoking. The character's chain smoking and just licking lit cigarette butts everywhere. Just bam, bam, bam. It's a fun wee game.
It really was, and I liked it when we first initially went in there. You got like the toilet, open it up, it was like, oh, who's on the toilet?
There's also where you change your appearance and you change your hat and your sunglasses and stuff because you find those around the place. Yeah, it's a fun wee game.
Yeah, and I do hope we get some more sessions on it.
Yeah, I hope so. The other game I've been playing is Pragmata.
Oh, let's hear it.
So, I've got a lot of notes on this game, and it's all over the fucking show. But so essentially, you start off the game. You're on a moon base with your boys, 4 of you. Shit goes south. Everyone dies except you. You're injured. Also, I should say, slight spoilers. I'm not going to get in too much story spoilers in that, but that's kind of like the opening 10 minutes where that happens, and then you meet Diana. So you play as Hugh. You meet Diana, who's a little android girl who picks up some kind of futuristic medical tech and bloody scans you with it, and brings you back to life. Essentially, it heals you up, and then you're just like, "Fuck's this child doing?" You learn pretty quickly that she's an android, and so you start running around this moon base, and then you find very quickly that there's a lot of enemies that are robots that are evil. You think, right? But there is an AI called Idis. I think it's pronounced Idis. That controls all of them and has gone AWOL. So, there are the basic ones are these really tall, like humanoid-like ones that are like a bit over 2 meters tall. So you aim at them, you shoot them, nothing much happens, and then Diana's like, "Hey, yo, big dog Hugh, I can hack this shit." So she starts, and you've got a little hacking mini game that you've got to do to like open up the enemy's weaknesses so you can damage them more, and they often will have like, here's a vulnerability, now you can shoot this part. So the whole time you're playing this mini game, hacking, running through this little grid. Like on PC it's with the mouse. I think it's probably easier to play on controller from what I hear, but I got to move my mouse through this grid, and you got to get from wherever you start to the green node to hack them. But on the way there's ones that it's like, oh, if you get these ones it'll do bonus damage. And then there are ones that are like consumables. So this one will freeze an enemy if you do it. This one will chain to other enemies. So if you do chain and freeze, you will freeze the 3 enemies that are there, essentially. So stuff like that, which is really cool. Later on as well, because you get other weapons. So you start off getting a shotgun, and they are all consumables essentially. Once you've used all 4 rounds out of your shotgun, it is gone. And then you have to later, you'll find another weapon and go, cool, got that. And they all take up different slots. So there's one that's like a charge up gun, so you want to charge it to full and then let go to deal more damage. There's a stasis, so you freeze the enemies. You've got also your basic pistol, which has got unlimited ammo. And there's one that for certain enemies, so I've got massive grids, so you bring up the hacking grid, and instead of like that, it's like, whoa, oh shit, damn man, come on,
hey man.
So I was trying to channel a little bit of Fred Durst, and so you use this launcher at the enemies, and it makes the grid smaller, so you can it's not going to take you as long to hack the enemy. There's also ones that are like a big red X, and if you hit that, you fail the hack, and you've got to try again. So there's all sorts of cool mechanics. This is you get a decoy weapon that you just throw down, and the enemies will start kind of attacking the decoy. There's a lot to this. You've got like a dodge, almost kind of a little Souls-like, just a little. There is some stuff in it. There's a little bit of Souls-like DNA, but not like a difficulty thing. There's just like these little bits. I'm like, I see you. There's heaps of all the areas are like not massive areas. They're not like open world, but there is a bit of, they're fairly sizable. And it will show you like, oh, in this area you'll find 2 chests and one of these little collectibles, like earth collectibles, which you give to Diana, and you teach her like, this is a slide, and she goes down the slide and is like, yeah, this is the best, and you're like, this is cute as fuck, man. This is Happy Dad Simulator. This ain't your God of War, which I do love. This ain't your Last of Us that I do love. This ain't your Sad Dad Simulator. This is Happy Dad Simulator. Hugh's kind of like a, hey man, I'm not about having kids. I ain't about that life. And then Hugh's like, he starts playing father. He's like, man, I love this shit. Yeah, it's really cute. So you get all these collectibles and stuff, and Diana's like, oh, here's balloons and stuff. Here's a basketball hoop. And then she starts like drawing you pictures, and I'm like, bro, this is the cutest shit ever. This is really adorable. Like, really, like I'm kind of like Hugh, and I'm like, kids, mate, that ain't my thing. I ain't about that life. And then you're like, Man, this is cute as fuck. Oh damn, I'm girl dadding up a storm. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's really fun. Diana's really, really sweet. And I know people are like, this is not what parenting's actually like. I'm like, look, I know this is a real small part of it. Part of it's also them throwing a tantrum because you won't let them drive your car. This happened to a woman at my work, which I thought was a hilarious story. She was like, the worst tantrum my daughter ever threw was when she was 4 years old, and she's like, I want to drive your car, and I told her no, and she threw a massive tantrum. I'm like, that's hilarious.
And ridiculous.
So I understand that this ain't it, but I'm sure there's parts of parenthood that are those good moments. This just kind of really puts them all in there. Yeah. So you've got like a hub world as well. So you go back to your hub. So in the levels, you'll get to a point where you find a checkpoint, which is kind of like a bonfire in a way, or a Souls game, just saying. But it's a ladder like down, and very video gamey, where you climb the ladder down and then you're back at your base. No matter where you are, they'll take the ladder down to the base, and you can always fast travel to any of these points. So once you're at the base, that's where you give Diana the gifts things as well. Also, you can play hide and seek with her in there. It's real cute. You get a robot companion called Cabin who hangs out there, right? And you get cabin coins to get upgrades, and he's got a little bingo sheet, and you've got to fill out the sheet to get upgrades or get new skins and stuff like that, which is really cool. He's just a fun little robot, but you also get VR missions to do, which is kind of like in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, I was going to say before, we talk about Street Fighter, and people are like, oh, Tifa for Street Fighter. All the Tekken fans want Tifa. Every single Tekken fan is like, why couldn't it be us? Why couldn't it be us?
You got Clive.
There seems, yeah, there's a bit more crossover, it seems, between Tekken and Final Fantasy fans. But for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but the Street Fighter fans don't want Tifa, and all the Tekken fans do. Yeah, so there's VR missions where it's just like do this, kill these robots in under 30 seconds or whatever, or complete this obstacle course without taking damage, and you get more cabin coins and lunar filament, which you use to upgrade your weapons and do health upgrades, and get you get little passive upgrades as well, and it's like enemies within 10 meters of you will take 10% more damage, stuff like that, or just have more health, or hacking. When you hack an enemy, their weak part stays open for 15% longer, stuff like that, which is really cool. And they're just pure damage upgrades on weapons and stuff like that. So you're using all this lunar filament. Lunar filament also, it seems like, the resource, because you're on the moon, and they're 3D printing everything out of lunar filament. So there's cars and shit there that are 3D printed. They talk about how that's just not quite as strong as making it through other ways, but they can print anything on it pretty much, which is really cool. Most of the levels so far have been like, you're in Moon Space Station. One of them, though, these are slight spoilers as well, but one of them is like where they were trying to grow trees, and the trees have obviously grown way out of control because the robots have taken over and there's no people around. So these, you've got to go. This is very much like an Xbox 360 era game. It's like, go here and figure out how to unlock this door. There's 4 things you have to go and unlock. Go to this computer terminal, but you've got to fight your way there and get up. Very Xbox 360 and PS3 era in the way it is, but it all looks really stunning. Runs really well. I've been playing with path tracing lighting on. People who saw the screenshots were like, it looks better with it off. In motion, it looks better with it on. I'm barely scraping 60 frames though with path tracing. I'm like halving my frame rate to use it, but if I'm hitting over 60, I'm happy. So, not something I think I'll have on all the time, but because the game's quite atmospheric, I think it's worth having on. You find these little data sticks to get Diana new upgrades and powers, and she just fucking munches on them. Like, it's so fucking cute. Instead of like, oh, I'll insert this stick into my arm or whatever, she's like, It's really fucking adorable. There's also all sorts of fucking enemies. Like I said, there was the lanky robots. There's almost these ones that are like hard to describe, but almost giant babies that are kind of terrifying. And they've got these. Once you hack them, they've got these big tanks on their back that open up. Those ones are cool. You got these ones, these round ones with blades on them that fly at you. So you're gonna hack those before they fly at you. There's flying ones that shoot kind of machine guns down. They point a laser at you and then line you up and then fire at you. But yeah, there's a heap of enemies, all robots, which is cool. Yeah, you just keep getting your upgrades, returning to the base. You know, get more upgrades. Carry on. There's not in a horror way. There's almost a little bit of Dead Space to it as well, like third-person shooter, sci-fi moon base kind of deal. Like there is a little bit of that, but like I say, no horror element, and you're a bit more mobile, a bit faster. But yeah, man. So far, I'm really enjoying the dynamic between Hugh and Diana. It is really fun. It's very, very sweet, very cute. Oh, there's a moment that Diana says something like, because she's learning a lot about what makes a human and what life is like on Earth through Hugh, right? Also, they do explain the barefoot thing. That's how she charges, but that's also a very anime-esque thing. You know? Look, people are way too weird about this shit in this game. People are getting real weird about it. However, some of it is weird. The idea as well of, I'm going to make a robot, but it's got to look like a human child, is weird if whether it was in a game or real life. However, people are just too weird. I'm like, he's just treated like just like this is someone's daughter, essentially. She's a robot, but it's...
Yeah.
Don't be weird about this shit, guys. Please don't be fucking weird about it. It's the internet. Everyone's awful about everything. Sorry, I got myself sidetracked. What was I saying? Something dark side. Regardless, the game is very good. Oh, that's right. There's also, it's fairly early on, there's like a really scuffed version of New York in there that's been 3D printed. That's also in the trailers. That's really quite cool, quite visually appealing. Yes, I definitely recommend it. For a lot of people, I would say it's probably worth getting on sale, but I think it's definitely worth full price if you like a third-person action game.
How far through the game do you reckon you are?
I've spent 8 hours or so in it. I don't think I'm halfway because I was trying 100% all the areas, and then I've now said, fuck it. I'm going to push through and maybe 100% them later. Oh, there's also a Dead Space, like you press on the keyboard, press C, and it will tell you where the objective is, but you get an upgrade for it later where you can say, it can go, oh yeah, there's an item over here as well, which is cool. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, great game. Capcom doing what they do, and it's crazy that this game had to be completely remade from the ground up by the sounds of things, because they were going to release it, or it was going to release 2022, I think. They showed it off at the PlayStation launch event, and then they spent another, launched 2026. So.
I think I'm
well done to Capcom.
I think I'm definitely going to get it. Not maybe when it goes on special, but I definitely will get it.
As we figure out that Steam sharing before then for you.
Yeah, sir. I keep forgetting that's in the pipe.
Oh yeah, brother. Right, Stephen, what are you playing?
Did you go over tone and style?
I kind of more or less did.
So being a sick boy, so I couldn't sleep because I spent most of yesterday sleeping, and I saw that Vampire Crawlers had released. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get down on it. Essentially, roguelike with cards. I love the way the game throws you in there. It's like sets it up like the first level of Vampire Survivors, but then the game, which was top down, and then the game goes and switches to the first person perspective. I love it how it's like it's not 3D, like it's still 16-bit pop up. Been playing through that. I love it how it's like you can go through, beat as many people as you want, because when you level up you get more cards, and there'll be like certain cards cost X amount of mana. Some people start off with 3, some people start off with 2, but then you can unlock these things like these blue orbs, which is plus mana, but then you can also get little items to embed onto your cards, and one of my favorites is halving the mana cost, because I'll be choosing like moves like whip and dagger, which cost nothing, but they don't do that much damage. But my favorite card from Vampire Survivors was the Holy Book, the spinning blue book, which costs like 1. So just half the cost on that, so it means I'm spending no money on that. And of course, they had the thing from the first game. If you got certain cards, well, it was items in the previous game. If you got certain cards, you can go to this place where it's a red orb and it fuses your items, obviously upping the price, which was cool. I like it how certain characters play differently. There's this one lady, I can't remember her name, but she...
Gladys.
Sure, she's a spellcaster. She bounces things, because like you have enemies and they'll like lurch towards you each turn, and they'll do like damage to you. But her special ability is she can add one more card into your hand, and so I just had like 8 cards, and 3 of them were ones that give you extra mana. So you just spam all of them. They even have an option to press play all your cards. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure after the pod, I'm gonna be jamming that to a respectable hour. But no, I'm glad I got it.
You sure? You sure about that?
I don't know, because it is definitely a one more run itis for me.
Yeah, it's got that vibe, eh?
Did you play much of Vampire Survivors?
Wee bit. Yeah, I didn't play shitloads,
Script
but I've
loads.
definitely. Oh. Yeah, but I've definitely played an amount,
I reckon this,
and I did enjoy it.
you might enjoy crawlers.
I actually liked Deep Rock Survivor more. Doesn't mean both are good, but I liked the Deep Rock one more. I think I like the Deep Rock world a little more, because there's a silliness to Deep Rock, that I really enjoy. Rock and stone. But yeah, Vampire Survivors is a bit of fun.
I reckon you'll enjoy crawlers, especially for the card element.
I think so too. Yeah, it's combined, because I do like the game, but then I also love like stuff like Slay the Spire and that as well. So it feels like it is combining those two things, which I think is really cool. I love for roguelike deck builders and Vampire Survivors, or Vampire Survivor likes, I guess, is a kind of becoming a thing, isn't it?
There was a 2 terms I heard.
What are they called?
One I heard was called a Bullet Heaven, and the other one I heard was called Survivor Likes.
There was another one that auto something.
Auto shooter?
Someone's name reverse bullet hell. Yeah, it used to be a different name I would find. Horde Survivor. Oh well, I can't remember what people. Regardless, glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to giving it a red hot go. Maybe later tonight. It looks like a bit of fun. Art style is obviously it's fucking excellent as well. They know what we want to see, and it's still got very much the gambling elements that were in the OG. You could tell, like, because his whole thing was that he had worked on like pokie machines, and he was that was where what his roots were in. So it definitely comes through, and I want to see more of this
Gambling.
This addictive formula. I want to see more gambling. You know, just want a little more gambling.
Hell yeah.
All right. Are you playing anything else, Steve?
I've been also playing Breath of Fire 4, and
Hell yeah.
oh, it's just little things that I enjoy. Like, there's this part where you're in the woods and you come across these like tree enemies, and yeah, you can beat them however you want. But if you use a fire spell, that will turn them into like a burning stump, which causes them to do more damage, but you get more XP doing battles that way. And I've gone to a part where we've got another party member, I think his name's called like Sias or Sias. He's this goofy looking dog guy with a sword. And the interesting thing is, in the translation, he's a strong character that has a stutter. Like, he first sort of joins your party and you go talk to him and he's like, I'm just keeping an eye on you troublemakers, or something like that. Turns out in the original version, his character is meant to be blackout drunk.
My man.
Yeah, and he's just slurring, not in the fun way, but slurring his way through the conversations.
You never heard a character drop so many inappropriate words, I tell you.
But so I remember this aspect from last time I played it. You get masters, and masters is someone that you can get your characters to train under, and they'll give them a stat boost, but you will learn new moves from them if you finish criteria. One is like, I'm still trying to get this on the first master, who's just like, yeah, I'll give you this ability if you can pull off a combo that hits 15 times. And the way that I just haven't been able to find like a big mob of people, but you get like, one of the characters has an earthquake move, and then if you use a fire move afterwards, it just splits the playing field in half, revealing lava, and just these pools of lava just shoot out, hitting the enemies and stuff. And yeah, it's got a little combo counter in the corner, which is real nice.
Sounds like exactly what you needed, Steven.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. Shout out. There's Capcom as well, wasn't it? Oh, they're on a fucking run right now. Shout out Capcom.
And of course, going back to playing Street Fighter. Just learning Alex. That's my way of unwinding. I'll find myself if I don't want to play something too like it requires a lot of my attention. I'll just be like, how many perfect victories can I get in like arcade mode with Alex?
It's good. Yeah, I get it. You got to have your comfort games.
Yeah.
Whether like I say, some people would find find fighting games stressful. So they're like, what the fuck? And it was like, I've said many times. For me, for a while, it was Dark Souls 3. And I was like, I just find this game comforting and familiar. So people were like, this is psychotic behaviour. Probably, but that's what you know. Hell yeah, brother. Right. Time for review.
Yes.
I got a review. It says, I don't care how fun your games are, Japan. I am not having children. It was from Mr. Toothpick about Pragmata. Believe it or not. So yes, that was a bit of fun. Right, Stephen, what do you got?
This is from CT Murphy. This is for Vampire Crawlers, the turbo wildcard from Vampire Survivors. It's a good thing my job can't tell I'm working, because I'm not. It's also a good thing they don't drug test, because this game is addicting.
Good shit. It's I can't wait to play it. Our boy Scrip, it comes highly recommended from him. So
saw him playing that, so I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. Oh shoot, $15, I'm gonna get that.
I'm probably gonna boot it up right now. So anyone who's still here, thanks for listening. I know, cringe, like, comment, subscribe, do that shit. It would help out massively. It would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, keep doing what you're doing.
And
we're gonna workshop this.
And shout out Script.
Yeah, shout out Script and DT.
And DT.
Shout out both these boys. Absolute legends. The best dudes. The best dudes anyone could ask for. So shout out them, man. Just all round the best dudes I know. And of course, Steve. All right.
Yo.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Yo.
Peace.
Bye.